friends. Today, we have gathered online to celebrate the 7th International Day of Yoga. The International Day of Yoga is celebrated every year on 21st June. The theme for this year's International Day of Yoga is Yoga for Wellness. We would like to commence this session by invoking the blessing of the Buddha and would kindly request Most Venerable Mahasangha of Haram Dhamma Chaitya Trivena for the prayers.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Itipiso bhagava araham samma sambuddho vidyacharana sampanno sugato anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati satta deva manusanam buddha bhagavati swakhato bhagavata dhammo sandipiko akaliko ehipasiko panayiko pachatam veditako vinyahite supadipanno bhagavato savaka sangho udupadipanno bhagavato sangho nyaya padipanno bhagavato savaka sangho samiti padipanno bhagavato savaka sangho yatidan chattari purisa yugani atta purisa puggala esa bhagavato savaka sangho ahuneyo pahuneyo dakkineyo anjali karaniyo anutteram punyaketam lokaswami soppitiyo vivajjanto sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavatvantarayo sukhe dīrghāyuko bhavatu sabba mangalam rakkantu sabba devata sabba buddhanubhavena sada sotti bhavantu te bhavatu sabba mangalam rakkantu sabba devata sabba dhammanubhavena sada sotti bhavantu te bhavatu sabba mangalam rakkantu sabba sabba sanghānubhavena sada sotti bhavantu te.
Thank you, Reverend, for the blessings. Yoga has earned immense admiration and respect globally, cutting across geographical boundaries and uniting the world over a common platform. This year, the celebration for the International Day of Yoga has gone online. Our battle against COVID 2019 and resolve to maintain social distancing being our top priority. I now kindly request High Commissioner Sri Gopal Bagle to deliver the welcome address.
Venerable Dr. Vimal Sara Maitke Thero, and the Mahasangha of Param Dhamma Chaitya Pirivena Ratmalana, the Honorable Defence Secretary of Sri Lanka, our colleagues and friends from Sri Lanka's Ministry of Defence, its armed forces, various formations of its army, yoga enthusiasts who have joined this celebration today from across Sri Lanka, my colleagues from the High Commission and the Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center. A very good morning to all of you and greetings of the day. Ayubovan, Namaskar, Vanakkam. As you all are aware, it was in 2015 that the world celebrated the first International Day of Yoga on 21st June. It was ironical that the heritage of yoga has been with the mankind, a gift of India to the world, but it was only 6 years ago that we celebrated the first International Day of Yoga. And that celebration and today's celebration and many more to come are the outcome of the vision of a man, Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, who proposed in 2014 in his first address to the United Nations General Assembly to designate 21st June as International Day of Yoga. We all know that the divinity, the universe, of whoever power we believe in, blesses all good ideas and those ideas which are for the well being of the entire mankind. No wonder that within a few weeks of Sri Modi's proposal at the United Nations, the resolution in the General Assembly of the United Nations to designate 21st June as the International Day of Yoga was adopted with not only a resounding but a record support, cutting across all geographies, all continents. I'm very happy to note that since then, since 2015, our friends, brothers, and sisters in Sri Lanka have joined us very enthusiastically in marking this day. Sri Lanka itself is no stranger to yoga. The Buddhism, meditation, yoga, and discipline are as natural to Sri Lanka as air and water. We form with Sri Lanka part of the same cultural and civilizational legacy. It was very heartening for me to see last year as India's High Commissioner, my first International Day of Yoga amidst the constraints of the COVID-19 pandemic, that we were not deterred in marking this day with great enthusiasm even last year. Those of us who could join physically observing COVID protocols joined celebration of the International Day of Yoga last year, and those of us who could join virtually did so. And I am very grateful to all our friends and colleagues, and especially to the Secretary Defense of Sri Lanka, who has made this event possible because it is under his direction and guidance that the units of various formations of Sri Lanka's armed forces have joined this celebration today. I especially welcome, of course, the Venerable Mahasangha of Paramdham Chaitya Pirivena, in particular Dr. Vimal Sara Maitike Thero. I welcome, of course, Secretary Defense, and all our colleagues and friends from Sri Lanka's armed forces. I welcome to this celebration of International Day of Yoga all the yoga enthusiasts and participants from across Sri Lanka who have joined us because not merely because they are joining in celebration of this day, but they are our fellow travelers on a journey for the well-being of entire mankind and not merely for their own health and well-being. As we all know, yoga is not merely a practice of asanas or a physical exercise. It is not merely a breathing exercise. It is a journey inward, but it is not even that. It is something even more physical, intellectual, spiritual, and also it's a social boon to the mankind because when we are healthy and we are peaceful, we become the source of harmony in society. And that is why yoga is not merely for health, but it is also for peace and harmony. So, dear colleagues and friends, as we mark this day today, I thank you all for joining us. I welcome you all at your respective locations. I welcome you not merely, as I said, for today's celebrations, but on this journey together, which will make us healthy, our souls vibrant, our minds stimulating, our hearts full of compassion, and our societies centers of great peace and harmony. May the blessings of all the gods and may the blessings of Buddha be upon all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Excellency. May I now take the honor of inviting Secretary Defense General retired Kamal Gunaratne to deliver the keynote address. Thank you, Excellency.
Okay.
May I now take the honor of inviting Secretary Defense General retired Kamal Gunaratne to deliver the
The High Commissioner of India, His Excellency Sri Gopal Bhagle, service commanders, senior officers, all warrant officers, senior NCOs and privates, ladies and gentlemen, Aibowan, Namaste, and good morning to all of you. First and foremost, I must express my heartfelt gratitude for the High Commissioner of India, His Excellency Sri Gopal Bhagle and his staff for extending me the invitation to conduct the keynote speech for the event organized in Sri Lanka on the theme of Yoga for COVID Protocol to mark the International Day of Yoga, which falls today, the 21st of June, the summer solstice, or the longest day of the year in the Northern Hemisphere. The International Day of Yoga has been dated in the UN calendar based on a proposal made by His Excellency Narendra Modi, the present Prime Minister of India, in year 2014 as an invaluable gift of India's ancient tradition, which harmonizes the human with nature. The theme under which the 2021 Yoga Day has been set, Yoga for COVID Protocol, is a very pertinent theme as the world is still recovering from the impact of the coronavirus disease or COVID-19 pandemic. The arrangements made to conduct the event online format connecting 150 military establishments all around the country is also seen as a very candid decision, as it has offered the opportunity for a maximum participation for this year's session in a duration where the social gatherings have been restricted owing to this pandemic situation. Yoga being a practice which addresses physical, mental, and spiritual stages. It helps an individual to deal with the pandemic, as the COVID-19 plight is not just a physical crisis and demands a strong mental stamina. Therefore, a growing number of people around the world are in the verge of embracing the yoga to stay healthy and rejuvenated and to fight against the social isolation and depression during this pandemic situation. Therefore, the World Health Organization has also recommended yoga as a mean to improve health, as it includes a multitude of benefits, including increased flexibility, fitness, mindfulness, and relaxation. Accordingly, I must once again extend my heartfelt gratitude for His Excellency, the High Commissioner of India, and the entire embassy staff, including the defense attaches, for arranging this event for the betterment of the tri-service members of Sri Lanka, and wish this event will become a total success and bring the desired outcome as expected. Thank you and have a great day ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I will now read the message from Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, to President of Sri Lanka, His Excellency Gotabaya Rajapaksa, on the International Day of Yoga 2021. I quote, Your Excellency, in 2014, the overwhelming response of the United Nations General Assembly to recognize June 21st as International Day of Yoga underlined the universal appeal of yoga that transcends all barriers. Since then, the International Day of Yoga has been marked globally with great fervor. In a few weeks, the world will mark the 7th International Day of Yoga. Like the year gone by, this year's International Day of Yoga will also be marked under the shadow of the COVID-19 global pandemic. In the midst of this monumental challenge, our COVID-19 warriors have waged a remarkable fight against the pandemic. While the threat of the pandemic remains, there have been positive developments since the last International Day of Yoga. In addition to various treatment protocols, scientific understanding about the virus, we now also have several vaccines to protect our people from the pandemic. Vaccination drives are underway in several nations, including India. I remain optimistic that humanity shall overcome the pandemic very soon. The theme for this year's International Day of Yoga is Yoga for Wellness, which is particularly relevant in the current context. Yoga has many benefits for the body as well as the mind. Despite all the efforts and precautions, COVID-19 may infect any person. However, a strong immune system can aid in the fight against it. Yoga can help build that immunity, for instance, through breathing exercises that strengthen the lungs. At the same time, across the world, millions of people have been forced to stay indoors for months. This has taken a toll on their mental health as well. Regular practice of yoga can also help them recover. Yoga has an inherent power to connect. Yoga is good for community, immunity, and unity. The theme of International Day of Yoga celebrations this year reflects the concern for the good health and well-being of people across the globe. It is an endeavor to ensure that we focus on fitness as well as wellness. I wish to extend through your good offices my deepest gratitude for the cooperation and efforts extended by one and all in making the International Day of Yoga celebrations a resounding success every year in Sri Lanka. I'm sure that this year will be no different. Please accept my best wishes to you, your family, and your citizens for good health and well being, with the assurance of my highest consideration. Unquote. I will now read the message of the President of Sri Lanka, His Excellency Gotabaya Rajapaksa, to the Prime Minister of India, Sri Narendra Modi, on the International Day of Yoga 2021. I quote, "It is my great pleasure to extend my warm greetings to Your Excellency, the people of India, and to all yoga practitioners around the world on the occasion of the 7th International Day of Yoga. It is well established that yoga is a very effective means of keeping the human body and mind in balance. It is a source of wellness that has the power to bring inner peace to human beings. This precious, beautiful gift from the treasures of spiritual traditions and practices of Indian sages over millennia has touched the lives of many generations of men and women in many parts of the world, and it will continue to inspire the behaviors and living patterns of many people for centuries to come. I share great admiration for such spiritual traditions and practices that enrich the cultures of South Asia and of regions far beyond. I cannot stress enough the importance of practicing an art of living like yoga at this very moment when we all are deeply affected by a global pandemic. The fact that a number of people from around the globe are becoming attracted to yoga attests eloquently to the promise it holds for the well-being of people from all walks of life. On this year's International Day of Yoga, I join hands with Your Excellency to invite everyone to reflect on the manifold benefits yoga offers to humanity while wishing everyone continued peace and progress. Unquote. Ladies and gentlemen, now let's get ready to experience a rejuvenating practice session of yoga and meditation with our yoga instructors led by Mr. Vyasa Kalyana Sundaram. Kindly relax, participate, and enjoy the session.
Ayubowan, Vanakkam, and Namaste to all of you all. And thank you very much for joining this yoga session. And the sequence of this yoga session, which we'll be all joining and doing together, will be from the yoga protocol, which has been released for the benefit of the world by the Ministry of Ayush, Government of India. As all of you know, the yoga is a word, just not a collective word. The word yoga has derived from four bija aksharas, that is the root sounds. So when the four bija aksharas comes together, the word yogaha derives. And because of the colloquial languages, we call it as yoga. And in the yogaha, the word yoga, you have the bija sounds, some things which is like yang, mang, hum. And when these four bija aksharas join, the most powerful word called yoga derives. And the first bija, the yang, gives the indication that which activates, that which expands, that which nourishes the prana within yourself, and also that which connects the external prana within yourself. Whenever we do the practice of yoga, one of the most important aspects is that we need to ensure that we have a sankalpa. Sankalpa means an affirmation. Why are we doing yoga? We are now here together, as is an International Day of Yoga, But overall, it is for the wellness of an individual, wellness of your family, wellness of your society, and wellness of the country, and wellness of the universe. It is a language which connects everyone without any boundaries. At the same time, all of you know the meaning of yoga. There is a very old Sanskrit thesaurus which is called as Amara Kosha, where the yoga, the word meaning goes as dhyana, the sankati, viktishu. Like that, there are several meanings. What does the sankhata means? That when we do the practice of yoga with the perfect sankalpa, the first initial stage is the body connects with the breath. There are practices. Then the body, the breath, the mind, all these three things gets connected. Then the body, the mind, the breath, the emotions starts to merge within the self. Then the body, the breath, the soul starts merging. Based on people's faith on divinity, the final stage is where the individual soul, which is called as the Atma, merges with the Paramatma. So like this, you have the various stages of the purpose of the practice of yoga. One of the most important definitions of yoga is when it comes as samskara. We each of us have different roles as husbands, as wife, as administrators, brothers, sisters. So you will see in a day, you will be having different roles. One, you have to be a father, a mother. At one point, you have to be an administrator. At one time, you need to be a friend. When you need to change your shiftings, sometimes people find it difficult to change their shifts. There, the aspect of stress, anxiety, fear arises. That is where yoga helps in giving you that perfect identity of yourself. Now, we will go into the structure of the practices. You will know in every practices of the yoga, there are yamas, niyamas, asanas, pranayamas, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. Today, we will do few of the practices of asanas, pranayama, and a meditation. Always when we go ahead with the asana practices, it is very important, if it is a completely a new beginner, that you need to have an exercise. You just get yourself into an exercise. From the exercise, we go to the progressive stage, which is called as the yogic sukshma vyayama. So we will start doing the yogic sukshma vyayama. In the yogic sukshma vyayama and in the yogic asanas, three important things are very important. The awareness of your body, the focus of your mind towards your practice, and also the awareness of your breath. So we will do all the practices coming into the standing position. So initially we have been sitting for some time. So slowly just straighten your legs and make yourself comfortable. Slowly move your legs and then slowly come to the seated position. And from there, slowly come to the standing position in the most comfortable manner. So we will start the practice with the neck. So you will see in the neck practices, you can keep your hands in this position. If you are comfortable seated on the chair, you can be seated on the chair. The first practice is just take a deep breath up and breathe out down. Breathe in up. When you come up, just ensure there is a beautiful stretch. And then when the chin comes down, slowly down. Again, inhale up and exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up and exhale down. And then slowly up. And just start moving your head to the right and the left. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Based on the flexibility and comfortability, you can increase the speed. But generally, you will just ensure that all depends on the inhalation and the movement has to synchronize. Now, we are going to go ahead with the rotation practice. So, for example, you will bring your chin down. Just ensure that the chin touches the collarbone or the chest. Take your head towards your right side. When you take it to your right side, just see where the ears are touching the shoulders. Take it back. From here, you start breathing out. So, when you come towards the left shoulder, you come to the breathe out. Now you are in the middle. From here, start breathing in. Take a deep inhalation, stretch yourself up and look up, and then breathe out, slowly come down. And again, we continue to the other side. Take a deep inhalation, slowly up, look up, and breathe out, slowly come forward. Now we will do it on the other side. When you're doing the practices, always keep yourself, have an inner smile and an outer smile, so that the effectiveness of the practices takes place greatly. And now slowly we are going to the left side. Slowly take a left movement, stretch yourself up, and then slowly down to the sideways, and then slowly down. Same way, take a deep breath, turn yourself to the left side, come to the center, and then slowly to the right. While you're coming to the right, you breathe out. And the final round, again, take a deep breath, slowly up, stretch yourself, feel the stretch around the neck region, and then slowly come down, relax, and slowly up. So this is the practice we generally do for the neck region. Now we will do some practices for the shoulders. Slowly bring your hands in this position forward and bring all the fingers together and slowly place it on the shoulder level. And just see whether you are able to hold it like this. So from here, when you come up to here, you inhale, and from here to here, you will be exhaling. So for slowly, you will breathe in. Just ensure that your elbows are touching. Inhale, and from here, you will be exhaling down. And then the final round, inhale, slowly up, and you will exhale. And now we will do it on the anti-clockwise.
මෙහිදී මෙම ව්‍යායාමය නැවත පිටුපසට ඔබේ අත් පිටුපසට මේ විදිහට හරවමින් අපි දෙවන වටය මේ විදිහට සම්පූර්ණ කරනවා. ඉදිරියට එනකොට ඔබේ වැලමිටවල් දෙක එක ළඟ ගෑවෙන විදිහට මේ විදිහට ඇවිල්ලා අවසාන වටය නැවතත් පිටුපසින් හුස්මත් එක්ක ඉහළට දැන් හුස්මත් එක්ක පහළට පසුව අපි මේ ව්‍යායාමය දැන් සම්පූර්ණ කරනවා.
So slowly relax your hands. The next practice which we are going to do is for the hip region. So how do you do the practice? You come into this position, bring your hands straight, palms facing each other, and very gently you turn your hip, you turn your shoulders, and then slowly come to the center, and then slowly to the other side. A very gentle movement, backward, center, backward, and like that. So when you're going behind, you inhale, you come forward, you exhale. And you'll bring the hands and just touch this place. Slowly behind, to the center, and then go back, inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. And now be in that position and feel the stretch around your hip, neck, and shoulders.
මේ පොසිෂන් මේ ඉරියව්වට ඔබ පැමිණියාට පස්සේ ඔබේ වම් අත දිගු කර තියා ගන්නවා මේ විදිහට. ඒ වගේම ඔබේ දකුණු අත ඔබේ බෙල්ල සහ පපුව අතර මේ ආකාරයෙන් තබාගෙන ඉන්න ඕනේ මේ විදිහට.
Slowly come to the center and relax yourself. So these are some of the practices, yogic sukshma vyayama practices, which you can always do. It just takes few minutes. And now we will go into the asanas. When you classify the asanas, you will know when you have been all hearing different types of asanas. The names of the asanas are derived either from the divine beings, super divine beings, yogis, rishis, or based on the human anatomy, or from the animal kingdom, or from the vegetable kingdom, or from very auspicious things or weapons. This is how you will see the different names are classified. The first asana which we are going to do is one of the best asanas, is called as Padahastasana, which comes under the category of standing asanas, which is related to the human body. So slowly bring your hands up and very gently come forward. When you come forward, bring your hip parallel to the floor. And just ensure that you are very parallel. And from here, you will slowly go down. Don't force yourself. If you are like in this position, just be there, wherever you are. If you feel that you can go down, you will go down. If you feel you can touch, you will touch. And if you feel you are comfortable, you'll raise your toes and then place your palms in.
මේ අවස්ථාවේදී ඔබේ අත් පවතින්නේ ඔබේ යටිපතුල් යට. මේ අවස්ථාවේදී ඔබට පුළුවන් නම් ඔබේ හුස්ම පහත හෙලනවත් සමගම ඔළුව ඔබේ දන හිස ළඟට මේ ආකාරයෙන් ලං කරන්න. නැවත හුස්ම ගන්නවත් සමගම හුස්මත් සමග ඉහළට මෙම ඉරියව්ව මේ විදිහට නිදහස් කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඊට පස්සේ හිමින් සීරුවේ ඔබේ අත්ල යටිපතුල් වලින් නිදහස් කර හුස්ම ඉහළට ගන්නවත් සමගම මේ විදිහට ඉහළට නැගී පොළවට සමාන්තරව ඉන්න අවස්ථාවට ඇවිල්ලා ඊට පස්සේ ඉහළට නැගින්න පුළුවන්. දැන් ඔබේ අත් මේ විදිහට දෙපැත්තෙන් පල්ලෙහාට ගන්න පුළුවන්.
So that was regarding the Padahastasana, which has a very good impact in the lower abdominal region below the navel. And now the next practice which we are going to do is based on Ardha Chakra Asana. So place your hands in a very comfortable manner. 4 fingers on one side and the thumb on the other side. You just place it. So your rib region is here. Just place it, lock it. Number 1, bring your elbows behind, expand your shoulders. And then from here, you can keep your feet together, but today we'll keep the feet apart, parallel to your shoulders. And then from here, gently push your hip forward, drop your head back, and be in this position and take deep breath. So basically what happens in this practice is that you will know the brain ending and the spine which starts, that specific location gets activated when you are in this position and when you are doing the breathing. That is the location where most of us have all the neck and upper spine related issues. Be there in a comfortable position.
මේ ඉරියව්වට ඔබ පැමිණියාට පසු ඔබට තේරෙන ඇති ඔබේ බෙල්ල පිටුපස ඒ වගේම කුඳුනාරටිය යන මේ සියල්ල ඇදීමකට ලක් වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඒ ඇදීම ගැන අවධානය යොමු කරමින් හුස්ම ඉහළ පහළ දැමීමත් සමගම මේ ඉරියව්වෙන් මේ විදිහටම තව තප්පර කීපයක් රැඳී සිටින්න.
Now slowly relax yourself. Each of these practices, you can do it for a few counts and relax yourself. The final standing asana which we are going to do is called as the Trikonasana, that which supports, helps your spine. And so make yourself comfortable. So I'll be doing it on the side view and he'll be doing it so that you can see the both dimensions of it. Bring your feet together. While you are expanding your legs, bring your hands up. Very gently raise your right foot, turn it to the side. Feel the dynamism, the smartness within yourself, and then slowly go down. And if you feel that you can only come up to here, please be here. If you feel that you can go down towards the ankle, you can go down. But don't strain, stretch yourself. If you feel that you want to hold it here, you can hold it here. Or place the fingers, turn your head up, and look up at the middle finger of the upper palm.
මේ ඉරියව්වට ඔබ පැමිණි විට ත්‍රිකෝණ ආසනය ඔබගේ අත් සහ පාය අතුරින් ත්‍රිකෝණයක හැඩයක් ගෙන ඇති ආකාරය ඔබට දැන් දැක ගන්න පුළුවන්. මෙහිදී ඔබ ඔබේ මුහුණ ඉහළට හරවා ඔබේ ඉහළ අතේ මැද ඇඟිල්ල දෙසට අවධානය යොමු කරන්න.
And now slowly come up, very gently, very gently, very gently. It's very important that you should not come in a sudden way. Turn your foot, and we will do the same process on the other side. Turn your left foot, go down as much as possible, and if you feel that you can touch, you will see that both the hands are in the alignment. Be in that position for few counts, and now slowly come up. Bend your knees, slowly bring the feet together, bring your hands down. So that is the standing asanas, and now we will slowly come to the seated position. And in the seated position, we will do a meditation which is called as Kayastriyam. In yoga, you will see that we have the Ashtanga Yoga, Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, that is sense withdrawal techniques. Once you withdraw your senses, that is a methodology. The second one is you place the senses for a longer time in that focus. Once a person becomes very practiced and an intense practice, which will take them to a very calm meditation. So we are now going ahead with the practice of pratyahara, which is comes as and called as kaya kalpa dhyana. So bring your hands into this position, place it on the elbow, which is, and gently close your eyes. So this comes under the category of the Kaya Kalpa, which is the technique is called as the Kaya Striya, where you start. Kaya is the body, Striya is that your inner self, the joints, your inner koshas of the Pancha Koshas, Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manonmaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya, all the koshas starts to interact within yourself.
මෙහිදී මෙම භාවනානුයෝගී ක්‍රමවේදය තුළින් කාය ස්ත්‍රියම් මෙහිදී අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ ඔබගේ සංවේදන ඉවත් කිරීම. එසේත් නැතහොත් ඔබගේ සංවේදන වලින් ඔබට ලැබෙන විවිධ වූ සංඥා වලින් ඔබ කොහොමද ඉවත් වී සිටින්නේ කියලා. මෙහිදී මූලිකම ක්‍රමවේදයේ විදිහට අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ සංවේදන සහ ඔබගේ හන්දි ඔබගේ අස්ථි පද්ධතිය හා සම්බන්ධ වීමයි. මෙය මූලිකම ක්‍රියාවලිය විදිහට දක්වන්න පුළුවන් මෙම භාවනානුයෝගී මූලධර්මයේ මත.
Focus yourself completely within yourself. Feel the awareness of both the feet which touches the floor. Just see how beautifully the ankles are crossed to each other. Observe the calf muscles. Have the awareness of your knee region. Have the awareness of your hip region. Have the awareness of the spine, the central nervous system. Have the awareness of your neck region, shoulders, elbow, the wrist. Have the awareness on the middle part of the spine and simultaneously in the middle part of your head, of your right brain, the left brain. Have a complete awareness where this technique of Kaya Striyam gives you to focus within yourself to have that alignment process perfectly.
මෙහිදී ඔබේ යටිපතුලේ සිට විලුඹ දන හිස උකුල ඉන්පසුව කොඳු නාරටිය ඔස්සේ පැමිණිය පසු උරහිස නැවත වැලමිට ඒ වගේම ඔබේ ඇඟිලි නැවතත් වැලමිට නැවතත් උරහිස ඔබේ බෙල්ල හිස සඳහා ඔබගේ සියලුම සන්ධීන් සඳහා මේ අවස්ථාවේදී ඔබේ හිත යොමු කරන්න. එය ඇතුළාන්තයෙන් ඔබේ සන්ධි වල ක්‍රියාකාරීත්වය දැකීමක් විදිහට මෙම ක්‍රමවේදයේදී දැක්විය හැක.
So now slowly open your eyes. We will do few practices which is related to the sitting asanas. So come into Sukhasana. So this position is Sukhasana and what Amal is seated is called as Vajrasana. So you can come into this position, Sukhasana, straighten your legs and bring your hands into this position, make it straight. Going to do the asana, Baddha Gonasana. Slowly bend your right leg, bend your left leg. So you will see that when you are holding like this. Now, for example, when we do the Aibuan or Namaste like this, like how this is together, same way here also the feet has to be together. And now you hold it and then you bring your legs down and be in this position, spine in an elevated position, and you be like this. Sometimes you will see our legs comes like this. There is a space in between. So just to ensure that does not happen, or for us to improve the hip and the lower spine, you can do this movement for the initial stages. So we can go on doing this practice. After doing this practice for 27 or 54 or 108 times, again, place it down, hold it, and keep your spine straight. And always start analyzing, assessing the beauty of your body. How flexible it is, how great it is, and what a wonderful instrument it is, which is giving you to help you to achieve all the goals of your life and also support the others' endeavors. And now from here, you will release your hands, open your eyes, and then slowly straighten your left leg and then slowly your right leg, keep your hands behind, and then slowly start moving the feet. The next practice which we are going to do is Ustrasana based practices. So you will have to come into the kneeling position. So bring your right leg bent, then bring your left leg bent. So in Ustrasana, we can do two types of Ustrasana based on the capacity and the potentiality. One comes as the Ardha Ustrasana and the Ustrasana. So slowly you come up, place your hands on the side. If you feel that you feel uncomfortable or you have a knee concern, please have a cushion or fold your mat. From here, slowly bring the hands in the same position, thumb expanded, come like this, and then slowly bend back. So this is the Ardha Ustrasana which all of you can do. You can also tuck the toes, balance yourself on the toes, and then slowly come down, bring your hands down and relax yourself. And now we are going to go to the final stage of this practice, which is called as the Ustrasana. So either you can bring your hands up and hold the heel, or you can go back, hold the legs at the heel level and be in that position.
මෙහිදී මෙම අවස්ථාවට පැමිණි විට ඔබට තේරෙනවා ඇති ඔබේ දන හිසේ සිට කොඳුවැට පේලිය ඉවර වෙන තැන දක්වාම ඇදීමකට ලක් වෙලා තියෙනවා. මේ විදිහට ඔබේ අත්වලින් විලුඹ අල්ල ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ වගේම මේ ඉරියව්වට පැමිණිය පසු ඔබේ ඉන ප්‍රදේශයෙන් පුළුවන් නම් ඉදිරියට නෙරා යෑමකට ලක් කරන්න. එයින් ඔබට ලැබෙන ඇදීම තවත් වැඩි කරගන්න පුළුවන්.
Slowly come up, bring your hands on this side, and then slowly bring your hands down, bring your knees together, and slowly relax yourself. Place your palm up, take 3 deep breaths. And the final asana which we are going to do is the Shashankasana. So when you are doing the Shashankasana, just expand your knees. And behind you will see the feet is one over the other. And then you come like this in this position. And if you feel comfortable, just start moving your palms forward and backward based on your capacity. So if you feel that you can be like this, you be in this position. If you feel that you can go down, slowly go down.
මෙහිදී ඔබට හැකි ප්‍රමාණය අනුව ඔබේ අත් පාවිච්චි කර ඉදිරියට අත්වලින් ඇවිදාගෙන යාමක් කරමින් ඔබට හැකි පමණ ඉදිරියට එන්න. එහිදී ඔබට ඔබේ හිස බිම ගෑවෙන ප්‍රමාණයට එන්න පුළුවන් නම් වඩාත් හොඳයි. එහෙම නැත්නම් ඔබට පුළුවන් ප්‍රමාණයට ඉදිරියට ඇවිල්ලා ඒ ඉරියව්වෙම රැඳී සිටින්න.
And now slowly come up, bring your hands very gently behind, closer to the chin, and from here slowly up, and then slowly come into this position. And from here we will slowly relax yourself, straighten the legs, and be in this position. So you will see now we are going to do one breathing practice, which is called as the Brahmari practice. So you can choose 3 types of asanas. What I am seated is called as Sukhasana, and you will see the previous asanas, or where Amal will now demonstrate to you the Vajrasana, or you can come like this into Padmasana. What is the most important is when you are doing in Padmasana, your heel should touch the navel region. So if this comes as the Purna Padmasana. So this is how you can come into the sitting position. So when you come either to Vajrasana or to the Padmasana in this position, the chakras within the solar plexus, within the region in the Muladhara chakra starts to get activated. So this, by just sitting in this position itself, your breathing becomes regulated, where you bring your breath to a neutral condition. In all pranayama techniques, it is very important that the neutral energy is activated. How do you do the Brahmari practice? Is you take a deep breath. When you take a deep breath and when you breathe out, you do the humming sound. And based on your capacity and potentiality, when you take a deep breath and when you breathe out, just try to breathe out for 9 counts. Like how well? Just demonstrate one round. So you take a deep breath. So we will all join together and do 3 more rounds. Take a deep breath. Second round, take a deep breathing. Final round. Observe the vibration within yourself. So in this is one of the most soothing practices for the agitated respiratory system or the cardio system within yourself, and also which helps in the senses balancing. You can start with 9 counts of a 9 round. You can slowly increase it by 11, 15, like that you can go on, and if you are able to do around 27 times of 9 counts, you will see a vast impact within yourself.
මෙම ක්‍රියාදාමය කිරීමේදී ඔබ හුස්ම ඉහළට ගෙන හුස්ම පහළට හෙළනවත් සමගම කාරා ශබ්දය නිකුත් කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒකෙදී පළවෙනියට ඔබ ප්‍රාශ්වාසය 9ක් ගණන් කිරීමක් තුල කරගෙන යන්න පුළුවන්. ඉන් පසුව ඉදිරියේදී එය 9ක් 11ක් 13ක් 15ක් විදිහට මේ විදිහට තව වැඩි කරගෙන ගිහිල්ලා 27ක් දක්වා යන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ විදිහට ක්‍රියාදාමය නැවත 9 වතාවක් කිරීමෙන් ඔබට ඔබේ ජීවිතයට ඔබට තේරෙයි ඉදිරියට යනකොට හුඟක් වාසිදායක දේවල් ඔබට ළඟා කරගන්න පුළුවන් කියලා ඔබේ ඇතුළාන්තය ඇතුලේ.
So these are the practices which you can do. Few of the yogic sukshma vyayamas, few standing asanas, few seated asanas, and you can always download the yoga protocol, and all the practices which is there are wonderful practices which will give you a sustainability, which will give you great energy, which improves your respiratory capacity in a greater manner. So thank you very much for joining for this session. We will end the sessions with 3 Shanti mantra. Those who are comfortable, bring your palms together. Take a deep breath. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you very much and God bless you. Thank you.
ඔබ සැමට සුවදායි සෞඛ්‍ය සම්පන්න යෝගා දිනයක් වේවා.
Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of the practice session of yoga. Hope we all have enjoyed the refreshing session of meditation and yoga. I now kindly request Director, Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center, Dr. Revant Vikram Singh, to deliver the vote of thanks.
And a privilege to propose a vote of thanks on this special occasion of celebration of 7th International Day of Yoga by the High Commission of India, Colombo, in collaboration with Sri Lankan Defence Services. I, on behalf of the High Commission of India, extend a very warm-hearted thanks to Most Venerable Mahasangha of Param Dhamma Chaitya Pirivena and his Chief Priest and Director, Most Venerable Dr. Mathipe Vimal Sarathero, for invoking the blessing of the Buddha on this special occasion of celebration of 7th International Day of Yoga. I would like to take this opportunity to express a profound gratitude to Secretary of Defense General Retired Kamal Gunaratne for gracing the occasion as the chief guest of today's program. Our sincere thanks to senior officers and all enthusiastic yoga participants from Sri Lanka Defense Services for their august presence at this special occasion. A special thanks to the coordinators from the Sri Lanka Defense Services for their all-out support in helping us organize today's event. I would like to express our sincere appreciation for the yoga team headed by the yoga instructor of Swami Vivekananda Culture Center, High Commission of India, Mr. Vyasa Kalyanasundram and his team. Respected dignitaries and dear friends, I would also like to put on record that this event would not have been possible without the guidance and support of His Excellency Sri Gopal Bagle, the High Commissioner of India to Sri Lanka, who has been leading us by example and constantly inspiring us to adopt yoga as an integral part of our lives. It is noteworthy to mention that Swami Vivekananda Culture Center, the culture arm of the High Commission of India, has been actively involved in nurturing yoga since its inception in the year 1998. Despite the challenges of COVID-19 pandemic, the Culture Center has been promoting various yoga events through digital and online platforms. Esteemed dignitaries and friends, yoga is just like music. It is a rhythm of the body, mind, and soul. Let us strive to make yoga a part of our lives and benefit from the same. Let us also promote yoga for global wellness, peace, and brotherhood. Thank you. Hope you all have a wonderful day ahead. May all be healthy, happy, and blessed. Aibon. Namaskar. Thank you.